Hello. It snowed today in Pennsylvania, and it's still mid-season, but sometimes you have to mix it up. And what better way than with a pink Sili Worm? And I've developed a little different way of tying this miserable stuff to a hook that I'd like to share with you today. So there we are. I use about an inch and a half, inch and three-quarter long piece for the trout I'm after. We're going to use a size 14 TMC 2457 hook. And there's another little difference, the stretch cord. Now I get that stuff at Walmart and it's relatively cheap. I'm sure they have it in craft stores and other places. And we use some 140 denier pink thread to hold the whole thing together. So let's get started. We have a hook in the vise and we'll start the pink thread. So I'll start it near the eye and I want to wrap back a little bit. Went a couple of wraps too far. So we'll back that up and snip off the excess. I want that to mark the end point where I tie in that clear cord. So if your thread doesn't cooperate, don't forget to give it a little spin, make it jump back and catch the end of the cord. And that stuff's got a little stretch to it, and that's important for a couple of reasons, but for here it makes it nice to tie it in to tie it down tight. So wind all the way back to where we want the rubber to pop off the back of the hook, a little down the bend, and then come back to our starting point and put in a couple of whips because I'm going to use the rotary feature of the vise. So bring in the bobbin cradle, get adjusted, and we'll start to wrap that stretch cord. So we want to get two nice solid firm wraps around the back. You'll get a feel for this once you work with it a couple of times. And then I'll bring in that piece of Sili Worm and fold it in half and pinch the ends. And this is how I get it placed on top. Kind of just slide it down. Now here's one of the tricks. Right there I kind of hold it in place with my finger and pinch that against the hook and come underneath the worm. And then we'll go one back on top. So kind of hold that snug a little bit, go around again. And then here's the other trick. So have your hackle pliers ready. If you pinch the end of the worm, it stretches just enough, has a little tension. And now I can use the rotary feature and just wind forward. Now if you put too much pressure on this, it'll twist that worm around the hook, but it doesn't take much pressure. Both materials are kind of stretchy and spring. And look at that, it unwinds, comes loose, and you can take a couple more wraps of the clear cord underneath. Get things out of the way, and we're ready to tie off the clear cord. So we use a couple of alternating wraps, one behind, one in front. And when I'm pretty sure I put the squeeze on it, I'll come in with the scissors and snip off the excess cord. I left a little stub on this one, and it won't hurt anything, and it just gives you a little comfort level that it's not going to pull back out. And since you can't use head cement or super glues with the Sili Worm or silicone materials, at least most of the ones I tried, I like to put two good whip finishes on. So 5 or so turns on the whip finishes, one on top of the other, make a nice bold head there, and a little wax on the thread helps too, kind of cement things together. But there it is. It won't pull loose. It's very durable, easy to tie. At least it got easier for me as I figured this out and went along. So probably make a box full of these pretty quick, couple different colors. That segment in the middle almost looks like the real thing, and it does catch fish. So if you hung out till the end and want to learn more about me, look me up on Amazon.com. Until next time, be safe.